Welcome back to Unfiltered. I am Nigel Walsh, and I'm joined by
Matt Connolly. Hi, Nige.
How are you, buddy? How are you? All right?
Yeah, I'm good. A little bit hot, but nothing to complain about. The sun is out in England, and we love talking about weather, right?
I don't want to blow smoke up your backside, but I've always thought you're hot, mate.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Ditto. What's the A on? All those listeners
It's
out
like
there.
this, surely, isn't it?
Oh, like that. You see, I mean, you got kids of that age.
You see, we've got to work, or they can do it with their little fingers. I've got no idea how they do that. Like, I just can't make the movements. So, anyway,
For all
there we
those
go.
listening and not watching, I hope you're enjoying the intro to this show.
It is like 1,000 degrees in London right now. Like, it's very warm.
Yeah. And I hear you've been to the gym already this morning, which is pretty heroic.
I actually I logged on last night to book onto a 9 a.m. class or 10 a.m. class, and both were full. So I thought, you know what, as it's going to be 1,000 degrees, I'm going to get up at 6, and be there for 7 o'clock. So I've been to the gym, done a mini high rocks workout, and I've been for an hour's long walk already. So I'm feeling both smug and exercise.
And I've seen Instagram photos of your gym. It's all outdoors or part in out?
It's a bit of both. It's like an old farm cow shed style thing, indoors, outdoors. It's beautiful in the summer, almost too hot because you're outdoors, and it's miserable in the winter, but it's also outdoors. So it's kind of really, really nice. It's honestly, it's when you go to pick up a kettlebell and it's A, solid iron, and B, -4 outside, and you go, I forgot my gloves. And now you pick them up today and they're like, oh, these are warm. This is quite good. They're too sweaty. So
yeah, nice.
I'm always going to find a certain reason to moan, but it was great.
Mate, without asking such like old man questions, do they take all the equipment outside in the morning and then just stack it up? They can't leave it outside, right?
No, it goes in and out, and part of the class is bringing it in, bringing it out. So like it's all stacked away beautifully. And they say, go grab your kit, go grab your kettlebells or dumbbells or mats, whatever else that you want. Some of it's Astro. They've got things called gate runs, which is running down the farm lane, which is 1 kilometer there and back. So yeah, I was really good. I was, as I said to you earlier, I was back in running and stuff. What about you? How are you doing? How was your event?
Barcelona event was a success, highs and lows, and this is interesting. It's at kind of the level we're at where we got a PB. So it's me and my doubles partner Ollie. We smashed our time like over the moon, and then went to grab our phones so we could check where we were in the rankings. Pretty confident we'd won our age group, only to find out we're a third. It's like, come on, man! How's everyone going so fast? So,
podium finish.
Yeah,
You still
we got the flag.
Amazing work.
It was great. And then it finished at 10:30 at night. When we then went out into Barcelona, right? There was a big group of like 6 lads who all took a flight out there, all like staying in the hotel together. It was great fun. So
what could possibly go wrong after all that exercise?
You know what did go wrong was in the last place, and you'll understand why it's the last place, where we'd asked for like a glass of rum and coke or like a rum and cokes. We're like a round of those. And you saw the pint glass come out, a couple of ice cubes, and then there was like literally a tiny little bit left for Coke. I was just like, well, I mean, no wonder that was our last place. Right?
I'm not even
off to bed.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask you Whoop score the next morning. That must have been
2%. 2%.
Oh, that's not bad. I've been to 1% before.
Have you? Yeah, no, 2%.
Yeah,
that's an athlete for you.
Yeah, there we go. They see super strong. So what's on the cards this week? What have you got?
Cards this week starts in about half an hour when I get a cab to the airport, and then I am in Columbus, Ohio, Tuesday and Wednesday for Scouting SureTech. So nice. Chris Lewis and crew have a great event there, which we talked about. And then I'm getting Wednesday evening a flight to Barcelona for ITC Europe. So we are publishing a European version of the Beyond Boundaries report, which is great. So we've done some much more kind of local, in a European sense, focused interviews with Arslan and a lady called Daniela, who's the CEO of Claims at MSIG Europe, and we've interviewed those guys, got some great new content, and we have republished that report. And so we're going to present that at the event. We are holding a workshop around the new world of innovation, which is going to be really interesting while we're out there.
Very cool.
And then we have a booth as well. Sona
A
has a
what?
booth. A booth,
Is that
a
your first
booth.
time with the booth or not?
No, it's our second time in a booth. But we don't often. Yeah, looking forward to seeing, how that sits, how that works, and how
Probably
that is
quite,
manned.
probably quite square and upright, like normal booths do,
I
I guess.
imagine, I imagine. But it's a bit, it's just like that whole manning a booth. Look, I'm not around. That's not my vibe,
Uh,
right? But it'd be good.
it's not my vibe whatsoever. I actually have a saying that I actually I won't even repeat it. It's probably not fair, but I just don't believe booths are the right thing at this stage or phase. And you go to any of the conferences, and this is the debate I always have with our friends, not to be mentioned because they're always mentioned on this podcast. But I always have this debate to go, really, is that what we want to be doing and spending our time? I much prefer roundtable events, discussions,
Sure.
debates, and all that sort of good stuff. So who knows?
Me
Who
too.
knows if it's
Yep.
yeah,
Who knows?
exactly.
So, mate, that's what it is. And then very late back Friday night, and then with the family again on Saturday, Sunday. But what I hadn't realised, it's half term in the UK, which means the kids are off school. I'm assuming your kids
I
are too.
they are, and I always mess up, and I'm normally away, and I'm actually not this week. Number one, and number two,
Congratulations.
I am actually taking some time off, as in 2 days, but I'm taking some time off, and
Yeah.
I'm driving my son to a university open day, so it's or, a, or an engineering day out somewhere north of Birmingham. So I'm
Cool.
looking forward to it. So it'll be really cool. And then
Yeah.
Emma and I celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. So it's a big week.
Mate, congratulations. That is
I'm
absolutely stunning. It's
I'm
amazing 20 years.
I'm quite impressed she's tolerated me for that long.
Ah. Have you got any other friends who've been around for 20 years? That's it. That's incredible. Isn't that lovely? That 20 years of
It,
marriage.
it's like in this
That's
day and age
beautiful,
as
dude.
well.
Well done.
I'm really happy. Yeah, really, we've been together
Yeah, good.
26 years. So
Yeah, that's
hey,
lovely.
it's all good. It's all very
Yeah,
very
well
good.
done you. Well done you. And
Um,
what have you seen in what have you seen interesting in the news or on pods or anything exciting this week?
Loads. Like I
A few
go through
things.
fits and starts, and like this week's been interesting. There's been loads going through my mind. And I'm out for a walk every morning and I'm listening
Yeah,
to podcasts and whatever else. And this week it's been listening to birds sing and plugging out for a minute and working out to how do we go and enjoy ourselves and play. And actually, there was a thing. There's two things on my mind at the moment. One is this AI backlash. Obviously, we're doing university open days now for the little guy. I say he's little. He's the same height as you. He's 6'2" or
sure,
whatever.
sure.
He's ridiculous. Um, but there's been a number of events where the AI backlash is getting more and more. So Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google, in a opening speech or graduation speech was booed. I think that's the fourth speech now where grads are booing speakers when they're talking about AI, almost linked to the job apocalypse. I had to slow down to say that. Um, to go, well, AI is taking all our jobs and importantly, all of our entry level jobs. So I
Yeah.
think there's an interesting backlash or PR issue with how AI is being used with lots of layoffs and whatever else. You saw Meta's layoffs this week. Zuckerberg was talking about that. And again, there was some interesting feedback about that. The CEO of Standard Chartered came out and said something like, low value human capital would be replaced by AI. And I think the
And what
net
a
of
choice of words as well.
and then they came out and did damage control and whatever else.
Sure.
The net of all of that to me though was we've got a PR problem. And if you go back to my three favorite things, creativity, curiosity, storytelling, we've got to be able to tell better stories to go, those jobs are going away, but all these new jobs are coming. And I'm seeing more and more articles written about net new jobs that are being created as a result of AI, whether it's governance controls, prompt engineers, agent managers, and so much more that you just didn't have before. And I don't think we spend enough time on that conversation.
And I know the sorry, my dog's a little bit overheating in the sun. It's like a golden retriever. So I know we're talking
Is it a
about something.
shaggy dog story?
It's a shaggy dog story. Bear, lie down, good boy. But he, yeah. So I was thinking, like, so I appreciate what you're saying about it. We need a better kind of PR story to all of this. But do we, or is it actually the truth is that AI will displace a whole bunch of jobs, and there's going to be a massive layer of mass redundancy, etc. Right? Because I know we've been through this with various sort of cycles, both in our lifetime and before, right? Where actually these jobs just got changed into kind of new roles, and as you said, you clearly articulated 4 or 5 of those. But equally, I'm so very I sit on the like, whilst being an eternal optimist, sit on a really pessimistic. I just can't see there being enough jobs for these people. So I was listening to Ben Elton, the comedian,
Yes.
old British, and writer and author, and yeah.
I've not seen him for ages, but yeah.
Yeah. So he was on a pod I was listening to during the week, or a radio show or something, and he was saying, like, imagine if someone just like arrived to the government and said, right, I've got this great bit of technology that is going to completely displace a whole bunch of people, put them out of jobs, and it's like, no one is ever going to say yes to that. But for some reason, we kind of celebrate this kind of tech bro from the West Coast going, yeah, come on, let's do this, let's build it further, let's put loads of billions into it. And I was like, is it the right thing that we should be doing this? Or should we, I mean, not that we can, right? But can we just like stop and work out what, because actually I really like going to work. I really find a sense of worth in there. I really like earning some money and then paying for my family and enabling us to do stuff, right? Is it really that we will just continue this and this is just a bunch of noise? Or like, for me, I can't see a future where there will be enough jobs for us all. I just
But
can't.
I can though, and I think
Okay,
I'm
cool.
leaning.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm the eternal optimist, and I was reading a post by Benedict. I was just trying to find it by Benedict Evans,
Yeah.
where he talks about how every technology revolution has changed the role of work. Number one, and number two, when we automated bookkeeping and got to Lotus 1, 2, 3, and then to Excel, and then to Python, we've always ended up with more accountants, not less.
Sure.
In the same as the legal space, I've actually been with a couple of friends this week. One's a property litigator, a couple of barristers, or whatever else. Right? I've been with loads of folks, and actually, one of them just got Harvey for the first time. One of them seen AI tools for the first time, which
Wow.
triggered a different thought. Number one, which is we're all living in a bubble, but number two, their insights onto how it's being used and will revolutionize their work. Like one of my friends was going, hey, how we can now use this to do particulars in a case where someone's being sued is optimizing all that time so we can spend more time on the case. But there's another person that was writing about all these people registering more claims and whatever else. When the cost of arguing is being free, the one thing you need more of is more lawyers. So actually, I'm starting to believe it's going to be more of everything, not less of everything, whilst at the same time recognizing lots of jobs will be displaced and disappear or change to something else. Like there's things that we do now using AI for both of us that we just never used to do.
Yeah. No, totally. I don't know. I hope that is the case, right? I really do. Because equally, what we have is got amazing technology that's going to hopefully, you're going for a full body scan, right? And
I
it's that, like,
can't wait.
this technology will cure cancer. It will cure Alzheimer's. It will cure. We hope, right? But it's definitely going to get us a lot closer than we ever were. So let's not halt progress in that sense. But equally, let's just be really careful with what we're doing.
I couldn't agree more. So I think they're all in my newsletter this week as well. So I'll definitely share that as well afterwards. I'm the optimist. Of course, things will change. What did you do as your very first job? And does it still exist?
Teletext ad sales.
Now,
Beautiful. Does teletext still exist? That is the question. I mean, I don't
no,
know.
teletext was shut down years ago.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Uh,
shame.
all right, but that's the point, right? You still got a job. You've still evolved. You have experiences that you learned from doing
Yeah,
ad
totally.
sales
Yeah,
and speaking to
yeah.
people and all that sort of stuff. Actually, my wife was at a careers evening the week just gone.
Is she looking for a new job?
She's looking for a new job for my little guy, and he was off on a school trip at CERN. Like, so he's enjoying himself, having fun, and she's doing all the hard work.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. That's one for off the podcast. But the person that she was listening to said there's 500,000 graduates in the UK each year, and only something like 22 or 25,000 graduate jobs. So the
Wow.
fact that you don't come out of graduates out of university and automatically get a job. And then it's back to, like, I've always encouraged it. Go cut grass, go wash cars, go
Yeah,
do
sure. Yeah.
work in a coffee shop, do things that will get you the experiences that you get to meet and engage with people rather than be stuck in your basement wherever else.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about that offline, right? It's the
Yeah.
same. So, I mean, I say that's my first job. That's the first real job. But I mean, I spent from 15 onwards working in factories in Corby, right? And Golden Wonder and
Golden
pork
One. I used to
farms,
love their
Golden Wonder.
crisps.
They'd never eat the what's-its. That's all I could say. It was a slightly elevated platform in a very hot factory where you had to scoop the maize and pour it. And it's like, why it was so manual, who knows? And so I took over as temp cover for the guy who was on holiday, who was a big lad, and I was a young, fit chap. And I was scooping this maize and the sweat dripping into this maize bucket.
Oh,
That was
no
then
more.
just
No more.
and like, imagine for this big lad, like how much of that was happening on it. It's just vile. Anyway, so yeah, never
Oh,
eat the what's-its.
I've not had I've not had a chip or a crisp for 138 days, as you know. So
Yeah, you can
not
see
that
it,
I'm
but
counting.
it's good.
So it's good. It's all good. But this whole
You
job,
got sure, go
go
on.
on.
Yeah.
This
No,
whole
go on.
job apocalypse, I think, is over-egged and under-egged, and we've got to reframe the narrative and get our PR better. It's no different to the SaaS apocalypse, where
Yeah,
everyone was going, SaaS is dead. And here we are 3 months later going, well, actually, Atlassian's doing well, ServiceNow is
sure.
doing well, Salesforce is doing well. Everyone's rebounded because the
Yeah.
fundamentals are good. They're good businesses. So that
I
got
think
me all thinking.
what's interesting. Oh, go on. Go on.
No,
You're gonna flow on.
that just got me thinking to say all of these things are cyclical, but the cycles,
Yeah.
because
Sure.
of the bubbles,
Yeah,
is going faster. Like, oh, it's all broken. Oh, it's all not. Oh, it's all broken.
yeah.
Oh, it's all not.
I just hope so. When it comes to these jobs, though, that's the bit that is a real stickler for me because I believe in these cycles massively, right? But it's
Mm.
it's just let's just bloody hope there's some jobs at the end of this because
There will
otherwise
be.
what we're leaving generational wealth. We talked about, I think, as well before, right? For these kids. But the SaaS pricing model I think is interesting as well. We haven't talked about this. Where should we move away from a subscription cost to a usage cost? And you're seeing this, right, with all the models out there and how they're charging, and also then how much money they're making as well. But it's one of those where if you have a product that is getting hit hard and getting used, then what a wonderful model it is to charge usage, right? And equally, if you're charging subscription, maybe then it doesn't quite have the value it should. And you should, be canning it as
It,
a
it's
user.
it's really interesting because again, I think we live in a bubble. We spend our lives in all this space. And speaking to these friends that aren't in technology, one asked me what was SaaS,
Yeah,
and the other
yeah.
had never used Chat GPT. And I'm sitting there going, okay, we are definitely, that
It's
was my
It's
my
nice to have
reminder.
mates like that, don't you think?
It was
Like
brilliant.
it's a really healthy reframe of this 1% that we live in and around. Yeah,
Honestly, it was refreshing to go, oh, let me show you why I'm excited by it and why I'm overwhelmed by it, and. And we did something fun with it. And I remember sitting down with one of the guys ages ago and going, oh, this will replace some of the work. I took an assured shot of Tennessee and did a search back in the bar days of Google. That must have been 3 years ago. And obviously where we've come from and where we are now in 3 years is dramatically different. So I remember that interaction ages ago, but it was a really, really great reminder of actually there are cycles of people going, don't know what it is, what it does, through to
yeah,
people that live on in that 1%. And let's be honest, we're probably in the top 5% or 10%. And the folks that are doing really, really cool stuff are nerding out on really, really cool things, but that's going to be years away before it gets to mass public.
yeah, for sure. But I think that's why I like looking at this emerging trends stuff as well, right? It's
Yeah.
these startups, super early stage, often like pre-seed, seed, and the stuff's going to hit us like 5 to 10 years time. But
Yeah.
fascinating. If you can see clusters of, there's a bunch of these startups, all very similar, getting a whole load of attention and investment. Should we be paying attention to them? Yeah, of course we should, right? And it
Yeah.
may never take off, but it might. And that's where you get the experimentation, the learning,
But that's
and then
1,000
the early
shots on
adoption, right?
goal. That's like
Yeah,
VCs
totally.
doing
Yeah,
1,000 shots on
yeah,
goal and
yeah,
going,
yeah,
hey, we're
yeah,
not sure which ones to back, but we're going to back something like this.
yeah.
It is a beautiful segue to my next thing that got me just to
Mm,
pause and reflect, which was someone posted on LinkedIn, obviously, and said, if you're spending your time watching Netflix of an evening, you're wasting your time. You should be watching videos about AI and this, that, and the other. And
mm,
part of me says, I'm really excited and I spend lots of time watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts. But actually, I also watch movies, and I love watching really bad movies and really good movies. We watched, actually, a complete aside, we watched, is it Ladies First with Sacha Baron Cohen and Rosamund Pike?
Okay. Is it
Really
good? I'm
funny.
assuming it's comedy.
It's comedy. It's like I watched it with Emma last night, and it was really funny about the role reversal of the world's been designed for men, but for women versus men, and if what happened if all these things were
Oh,
turned
very
around. And
cool.
it was really funny and really good, and
Yeah.
actually, made you think. But actually, if I go back to my things that I love, like Minority Report, Star Wars, Knight Rider, and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
and back to our point to kids, how do we make sure that we're both interested and interesting? And if all we do is sit there and
Yeah.
watch AI
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
videos
Yeah.
all day, isn't that going to make us really dull and really boring?
May I am I so I sit with you on that entirely. I think there is so we had in my first company, we had a really strict and unusual policy. So we were an agency, right? So we'd come from London where it was standard to leave your coat on the back of your chair to give the impression you were still there in the office, right? I mean, it was that kind of, and you're
I remember
working
that culture.
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you were kind of, you're working through the night. Sometimes you're in on the weekends. It was that kind of vibe. So we set up, and it wasn't quite a 9 till 5, but near as damn it. Because if you are working all the time, you are not a multi-dimensional person by right. You're one-dimensional, right? Because that is all you know. And we're a creative agency, right? We wanted people to have ideas, be creative, see other things that they could pull from. But I also think it's I don't know if I told you, but it's a bit of a toxic trait that I have, which is so my relationship with my marriage, right? With my relationship with Caroline, she was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to learn to cook bagels." I mean, it might be as simple as that. This is the most recent one. I was like, bagels. You know that there's a shop around the corner. We could set that up as a bagel shop. Like if we set that up, make bagels, then actually for year one we should be. She absolutely hates it, right? But basically, I turn everything that she wants to do
It's a business
for
idea.
a hobby into a business idea, and it's a terrible thing. But but I think that's fun as well. But that's where that's my creativity, right? I really enjoy
I,
building businesses.
all my friends are in the work. Like you probably say, we all do it, I'm sure. Like you go on holiday, oh, I could live here. Then you're on the equivalent of Right Move or
Always,
Zillow and go,
yeah,
cool, I could
totally.
buy that place over here. We could rent it out. And we're like, cool, we can have a place abroad. And you go away on holiday, like, and a week later you come back going, we've bought a place abroad. Like, obviously, never actually bought a place
Yeah,
abroad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, this could be really cool.
Yeah, all the time. You're talking about how many browsers you have open on your window. On my phone, it is like every country I go to, all the browsers still are just the properties that I can't afford to buy, but would like to. But yeah,
I've actually, but I think, but I read something this morning about protecting your time. I need to get better. Like you probably get 1,000 pings a day to go, hey, would love to meet for 15 minutes. And
sure.
you can't meet everyone and do your day job and. So I always try and help people. My favorite thing in the world is paying it forward and helping people.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
equally, at points you just sort of go, I'd love to, but my polite way of saying that I learned online was I'm at capacity and I can't take anything else on. So I just
yeah.
won't have the conversation. So uh, I have to be able to say no better. And the more I get better at saying no, it's the more I can focus on doing the things I want to do and be curious and. But look, it goes
But
back.
it
This
but it
goes back to
requires
my,
it does require discipline, right? It requires
yeah,
discipline not to jump on Instagram or not to jump on or whatever platform it is that you're using, right? Because it is. I mean, it's called doom scrolling, but it is so easy to do that and
yeah,
lose time, right? And that's nice and it's okay. I think whether you're watching Netflix or other, but we, it's having a little bit of purpose and intent with what you are doing, and even if that is relaxing, right? It's mowing the lawn. It's one of our favorite subjects.
I
Seemingly,
love
it
it.
always comes
I
up.
love it.
But but it's just
I've been out this week. I
sometimes
got my
it's just doing
stripes. I'm
that.
happy.
Yeah,
Honestly, but it's the unwind. Like I could pay someone else to mow the lawn, take out the joy of it, and sit and watch an AI video, or I could get
sure.
whatever 1,000 steps it is mowing the lawn, and my joy of seeing I've done it myself at the end of the day.
Every
Plus, I
training
think
my
it's a
garden,
good
it's
thing.
about 12 steps for me, but yeah,
Mine's not much,
I need a little robot.
mine's not much bigger, to be fair. But I just enjoy doing it. Like it's all those things, and you. It's like when you're out running or you go out for a walk or you're on a bike ride. I actually like the non-screen time, the forced non-screen time to go,
Sure.
hey, that's really, really cool to go learn something.
Yeah, or even just not taking
As
headphones sometimes as well. I mean, it's so good to listen to pods and stuff and use that time, right? But sometimes there's nothing better when I've left my headphones at home or intentionally have taken the dog out. It's like, and you have to hear the birds and you have to have the conversations, with the other dog walkers or whatever it is. But it's lovely, right? It's great.
Honestly, so
Yeah.
I need guardrails in life, whether it's food and lack of snacks in the house, or I've got a time limit on Facebook, a time limit on Instagram. I can just nudge past them.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a tab limit on my browsers. I just
It
need
really is
guardrails. Otherwise,
guardrails.
yeah.
We had a conversation when we were in Barcelona. We all sort of using words like you recognize it throughout the weekend, like compound this or there's a bunch of stuff where it's like, are we using artificial intelligence AI words in our vocab now because we're hearing it so much in AI. So if you could hear the M dashes, I'm saying. But isn't it true? It's like it's something really interesting about that. But again, there's guardrails is another classic, right? Albeit we've
Yeah.
talked about that in the work,
Well,
maybe about the
guardrails have always been there, but I think we've just got to make sure we know how to switch off or how to unwind or whatever else. And actually, another one I sent you from Instagram this morning was about this guy that says we have overexposed ourselves to recording everything. And I'm a nightmare at this. I'm sure
yeah.
you're not much better. I've seen what you've built. You're not much better, I'm afraid. But actually measuring everything and doing nothing with it. So measure what matters. Like it's just
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
matter. Doesn't matter if you have a glass of wine or not a glass of wine. It's entirely up to you. It's a choice, right? So
Sure. We haven't got much time, but what I was going to say is what I did measure, bring it back into a little bit more of a casual one, is me and my higher ups buddy. We measured our techniques across the stations that we do, and probably found ourselves a minute across that, which doesn't sound much, but in the world of higher ups, that's a whole load of time. And to gain that minute in fitness is probably like another 3 or 6 months worth of training. But actually, just working a little bit smarter, and hey, how you can apply that to life in general, right? And the 9 till 5s or whatever it is, the
but
hours that we're working.
isn't that the same as protecting your time? Like making
Yeah,
sure that you've got like, hey,
totally.
how do I
But
get like if you optimize for it, right?
but using your brain, just think smart. Just stop and look at what you do and think about it, because I'm sure we're all smart enough to find efficiencies in how we work,
Uh,
right?
I've sat there. I'm going to admit this in public now. I've sat there and watched videos, and probably you and I have shared them of how you do the skier to go. Where do you stop and stop your hands to make sure that you get the most into it? And like I would sit there happily at 900 or 700, depending on how I'm feeling. I did this competition, like it was only like a gym competition yesterday morning. Yeah, it was 10 minutes. Like can't be that hard work, but I was there doing like 12 and 1300, and I was dead at the end of 10 minutes on the
Yeah,
skier.
yeah, yeah.
Like why can't I do that more often and get my technique better? So there's loads to be said, but I'm now imagining you like your Brad Pitt in the Formula One movie where he's like, I want 30 seconds from you. I want half a second from you, half a second from you, half a second from you. It's cycling. It's Sir David Brailsford's marginal gains.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the comfy pillow, it's the longer bed, it's the whatever it is. But like take that into our work environment, right? Just think about the structure. Think about how we're approaching every day, every week, every month. It's the planning. It's the I love all that. Anyway,
Honestly, and you can
geek
apply it
out
to your life and then work what you do. I go back to one of my first jobs out of university. I worked for President Office Furniture in IT, and they had
or
a mainframe that ran a manufacturing batch job overnight. And actually, what they needed to do was make sure it ran within time, because if they couldn't open the factory first thing in the morning because the batch job was still running, you'd stop production. So
yeah,
lots of the time for banks and whoever else over the years was going, how do we make sure we can process that amount of work in a smaller window so we can reopen production? Um, I think those days are broadly gone, but you could probably go around lots of financial institutions and go, bloody hell, these things are still running in batch. How do we keep those things
for
small
sure.
so that we can run in a faster way? It's no different, right? It's
No,
absolutely no
for sure.
different.
It's no different. No different. Right, Nigel, we have been chatting for long enough because I have a dog to walk, a taxi to grab, and then a plane to catch. So
Hey,
that is my agenda.
always good to see you. Safe travels. Enjoy the dog walk. It is very warm out there. My computer's telling me it's 28 degrees, which for Fahrenheit is
Toasty.
1,000 degrees.
Roughly, give or take. Mate, have a great week, and we'll catch up on the other side, I'm sure, or maybe in Barcelona.
Ooh.
Lovely chatting to you as always.
Stay well. Bye bye.
Bye.